In this week's video, I'm going to take you guys with me to the gym and show you how I channel my mind-muscle connection. Due to the 3-week lockdown in Ontario, I haven't been able to use the machines at the gym. This week will be perfect to train my mind-muscle connection and lift heavier in the future. The first time I heard the concept of mind-muscle connection, I was watching Whitney Simmons on YouTube a couple years ago. To simplify the definition of mind-muscle connection, it's the idea of thinking about the muscle you want to work out and using your mind to contract that muscle. Mind-muscle connection helps you stay focused and aware of the exercise that you are doing and the body part that you are working out. It is the idea of our mind and bodies becoming one. Glutes are one of the hardest muscles to work out. During the beginning stages of my fitness journey, I was quad dominant. That means every time I used to do leg day, my quads would always take the lead first and lift most of the weights. I would always feel the burn there first, but after a couple reps later, I would then feel it in my hamstring or glutes or the muscle that I was working. Over the years, I've learned how to properly use my mind-muscle connection and solely focus on my glutes without targeting my quads. In my experience, your body needs to strengthen other areas before it can connect to the glutes. I spent months of strengthening my quads, my hamstrings, and my lower back and abs as well before I could properly lift heavy weights, specifically for my hip thrusts. This goes to show you how important symmetry and proportions are when it comes to building muscles in your body. Resistance bands help tremendously when it comes to glute day. It helps you become more aware of your form and forces you to push your knees away from each other. This motion specifically targets the glutes. Today, we are targeting the side glutes. Here's a fun fact. Our gluteus muscle is the largest and strongest muscle in our body, and it has 3 parts to it. There's the gluteus medius, gluteus maximus, and gluteus minimus. To simplify it, we have an upper booty, which is also known as the shelf. We have the under booty, which helps you build that C, and the maximus is overall the plumpness and juiciness of your bum. During my glute day, I like to spend a majority of my time warming up my glutes, so channeling the mind-muscle connection, because the more I warm up my glutes, the less I target my hamstrings and quads. Since this was my first week/day back at the gym, I wanted to focus on the mind-muscle connection and building that up again before I actually start doing heavy weights. And since it has been 3 weeks, my strength has decreased, unfortunately, especially when it comes to the machines and free weights, but I am honestly really excited to build up again. I think starting back from square one is kind of humbling. Formation and technique is number 1 for me. The first day back was really fun because I was becoming more aware of the other muscles that I use while I'm doing certain exercises. So for example, in this machine, I was using my core to make sure I'm stabilized. This helps prevent injury and prevent putting all my weight on my lower back. I'm not gonna lie, I do neglect stretching before and after workouts, but after I've learned the importance of it, I do want to continue making a habit out of it. Usually upper body days are less intense compared to leg day. Leg day is very draining physically and mentally, but arm day is kind of like I'm going to the gym, I'm having a good workout, and then I'm leaving. For today's workout, we are going to do chest and back. When I did a consultation with my personal trainer, we talked about some exercises and some goals that we had. I mentioned I wanted to gain overall strength in both my upper and lower body, and she asked me what kind of workouts I do, and I mentioned I like to do chest workouts the most out of everything in my upper body, and she asked me how much I do back, and I said none. I usually don't like working out my back because I believe I look bigger on top and smaller on the bottom, and it looks weird to me. But my personal trainer told me that if we're hitting chest day, we need to hit twice as much for our backs, which is really surprising for me. I was a little hesitant, but I noticed that my posture has been terrible lately. I'm always hunching and I always have to be aware of me straightening my back. So I decided that it's finally time to give my back some love. One of my favorite machines is this chin assist pull-up. I think it's so fun. It's very challenging. While using this machine, I became aware of how bad my posture was and how much core stability I need. Since it's been a while since I've worked out with weights, I've noticed that machines are a godsend. When you're using the machines, it is so much easier to be aware of your movement, your technique, and your form. This machine can be used for your back, but I decided to use it for chest flies. I like to really make sure that I'm getting in a lot of range of motion to really put that muscle under tension. As you can see, I adjusted the handles a little bit so I can really get a deep stretch when I'm pushing out and pulling in. As you can see, I'm pulling in as close as I can and pushing out as far as I can to really get that range of motion. You really want to make sure that you're sitting up properly and using your core to stabilize you. This machine isn't my favorite, but I will admit that it does target your chest beautifully. A little tip that I like to remember while doing chest presses is using my palms to push all the weight away from me. When you push with your arms, you're using your shoulders and your biceps to lift that weight. But when you're pushing with your palms, you're connecting your pecs to do the pushing. And good morning. I'm about to go to the gym. I think I might do cardio today, so I'm gonna continue to use this Vital pre-workout performance. I believe it's something similar to a BCAA. It has caffeine in it and it has creatine nitrate. I don't know what they are exactly, but I know they're good for pre-workouts. They do something to your muscles and they help your energy levels. So I'm gonna take this and make this really quick. So far, I've only used this once. I'm not sure if it works because I haven't used it long term, but in my opinion, I think it does, maybe very slightly. When it comes to my fitness journey, one of the main things I struggle with is motivation, obviously, and nutrition. I feel like this is very common with everyone. But before, I used to be eating too much. I was gaining fat and muscle, dirty, bulking. I decided just to invest in a protein powder. I want to start taking my fitness seriously. And obviously protein powder is a dietary supplement. It's not a meal replacer. It's not anything magical. It's just something to give you extra protein. A lot better just to eat your regular protein from Whole Foods like chicken or lentils or beans. But yeah, I'm gonna stop procrastinating and we're gonna go ahead and do cardio today. I'm not a huge cardio fan, but I will say whenever I do a cardio workout, the time flies for me. My goal for today's workout is to reach my maximum heart rate for at least 10 to 15 minutes. Because I have a bigger chest, I don't really like to do jumping exercises because they hurt sometimes, so I like to rely on compound movements to do my cardio sessions. Compound movements consist of using 2 or more muscles in a single exercise. Some examples of compound movements are squats, squats to chest press, lunges, split squats, and more. Since my main goal was to reach my maximum heart rate, I'm just warming up my body to get used to the next couple exercises. For my actual warm-up, I'm gonna go on the Stairmaster on level 10 for 10 minutes. Considering I haven't done high intensity exercises in a while, this was very challenging. I had to take a couple breaks within the 10 minutes. Usually I don't like to do my own cardio exercises because I feel like I overdo the rest times, so I decided to do a superset of 3 exercises and 30 seconds of rest time. One of the 3 main exercises that really kill me when it comes to getting my heart rate up is jumping squats, squats to chest press, and lunges. I have a really bad love and hate relationship with lunges. I did that superset 3 times and I was dead. That was my cardio session for the day, and now I wanted to pair it up with some ab exercises. When I don't work out with Sydney Cummings or Presence, I really do neglect my abs. Since this is a new year and a new me, I've decided that I want to make a habit out of those exercises that I've been neglecting. So I want to have at least one cardio and ab day every week. I hate mountain climbers and planks so much, but I do realize I need to work on these because a couple years ago, I used to be able to hold a plank for 2 or 3 minutes, and now I can barely hold it for 30 seconds. But with that being said, abs and ab exercises are actually one of my favorite body parts to work on because I just love that burn. It's a bittersweet burn. I'm not even sure if this is called a superset because I did all these 5 ab exercises in one superset, and then I just took a rest and repeated it 3 times. Did my best to target all areas of my abs, so I did lower abs, upper abs, obliques, and crunches, so I guess my core abs. After I was done the entire workout, I decided to end my day with some stretches just so I can get into the habit of it. In my opinion, I believe cardio days are the worst but the most rewarding. With the compound movements, there's a lot of opportunity to channel your mind-muscle connection. So for example, when I was doing the mountain climbers, I usually feel it in my shoulders, but I just moved my position a little bit and changed my form, and I felt it all over my body, including my core. This goes to show that mind-muscle connection isn't just for weightlifting. Also, when I was stretching, I was really focusing on the body part that I wanted to stretch, so I had a really good lower back stretch here. Recently, I've learned that when we stretch our muscles, we do give it the opportunity to build and repair bigger and stronger. Rest days and proper nutrition is so important when it comes to building muscle. When we exercise, we rip the muscle, and when we rest and eat properly, we heal it and make it grow stronger for the next time. I usually like planning my rest days for the weekends, kind of treat my workouts like a 9 to 5. However, sometimes my schedule isn't like that all the time, so I try my best to space out the rest days appropriately. If anything, rest days are super important for my mental health as well. If I just continue to push every workout and always try and force myself to go to the gym, eventually I'm just gonna get sick of myself.
You know you be on some bullshit. I so progressive and crazy, but I know it's just cause you love me.
Welcome to another upper body day. Today we're going to be targeting the bicep, the tricep, and our shoulders. Since it was -20 outside, I decided to drive to the gym, so I did a little 15-minute warm-up on the elliptical just to get my heart rate going. My camera wasn't focusing, but my Fitbit said that my heart rate was around 180. I was dying because I was on level 10. I will admit, this is the first time I've ever done this exercise. I believe it is a cable tricep pull. I watched a video with Whitney Simmons doing this exercise, so I decided to do it at the gym. It is a lot more difficult than it looks like. To properly target your triceps, you want to make sure that you're not bending your arm, you're keeping your elbows straight and just pushing out. I didn't have too much luck with that exercise, so I decided to go with my tried and true, which are cable pull downs. Usually I like to do this exercise with a rope attachment, but I chose a barbell kind of looking thing because I was doing a superset of bicep pull-ups. As always, pay attention to your stance because a little shift can make a huge difference in what body part you're working out. Cable machines are great because they give you a lot of support for the exercise that you're doing, but it is up to you to make sure you do that mind-muscle connection. When it comes to the triceps, I usually don't like using this machine because personally it's hard for me to channel my triceps and the mind-muscle connection. The thing about this machine was that I had to pay attention of my stance and my posture. I had to use a little bit of my core stability to make sure that I'm really pushing down. Similar to the tricep machine, this shoulder machine is good, but it's not the best for me. I do feel the burn and I do feel my shoulders getting a little bit of a workout, but I feel like when I do free weights, it's a lot more intense. And I know I mentioned I was focusing on machines for the first week back, but for some reason, free weights just makes sense when I'm working out my upper body, especially my shoulders. I decided to do a superset of overhead presses, shoulder presses, and supinated shoulder presses. This superset is perfect for upper body day because it targets your shoulders, it targets your triceps and biceps and chest, and because you're under tension for a long time, you really do feel the burn. To end the workout, I did a little burnout for my triceps. Once again, we're warming up the glutes, so I went on the Stairmaster for 10 minutes and did some glute kickbacks. The gym was pretty busy today, so I went into the studio and did a little warm-up and some stretches. For today's exercise, we're going to be working on the upper glutes. This helps us get that shelf look that we want. Most glute exercises can activate your upper glutes, but it's nice to do isolated exercises every now and then. Throughout this week, I've been trying to make more of a conscious effort to do a little warm-up before I actually do my workout. I have no idea what happened, but my left knee is getting kind of weak. I'm not sure if it's sore, if I tore a muscle there, or if I just have bad posture or something, but it is a little bit sensitive. When I was working, I was standing around for a couple of hours and then I went to walk around a little bit and I noticed that my knee was really sore when I was walking. So I believe I have to take better care of that and I may have to look into it a little bit deeper, but warming up is so important because I want to focus on my glutes and make sure that I'm not using my knee or my thighs to carry the weight when I'm doing the exercises. The good thing about glutes is that you really don't need too many machines to get this mind-muscle connection thing going. All you need is a resistance band or probably just your own body weight and you're good to go. The only downside is that you really have to focus on that mind-muscle connection. For the warm-up, I'm just doing random moves to activate my overall glutes and then later on we'll get a little bit more specific. I usually don't like doing this kneeling squat move, but I did notice that if I focus enough and if I use the mind-muscle connection, it's actually pretty good for your glutes. The next exercise is kind of intimidating. I've seen a couple girls do this at the gym, and I've done this in the past, but I never really feel it. But now that I had a proper warm-up, now that I'm a little bit more confident at the gym, and I know what form to do and how to do this move, I love this move. It's so fun, it's so creative. It looks a little bit silly, but it works wonders for your side and upper booty. I will note that you want to fold your mat a little bit so that you'll have some support on your knee, and you want to make sure that you're not lifting too heavy because it could transfer over to your quads. I'm not quite sure what this machine is called, but it is great for your lower back and your glutes. Carrying a plate is optional, but I decided to go free weights because I wanted to get used to the movement and make sure that I'm targeting my glutes versus my back. This machine is meant for your lower back, but when you get the right angle and you squeeze right, it hits your glutes so well. Fortunately, my gym has a hip thruster machine, so it makes setting up a lot easier. All you do is have to buckle up, lay down, and do the hip thrust. For this machine, you really want to make sure that you have a lot of range of motion. I usually would put weights on it, but for today, since I had a major headache, I decided to go light and just use this as a burnout.